Greetings, people of the internet. This is Scott with Serkworks Art Labs. It's Friday. You know what that means. It's time for Fan Art Friday, where for the past couple weeks we've been working on characters from Batman's Rogues Gallery, the Batman villains, some of the most iconic villains in all of comic book history. And we're 6 down, and we're going to do 3 more today. So we've done, let's see, we've done the Joker, we've done Catwoman, we've done Mr. Freeze, we've done Two-Face, we've done the Riddler, Poison Ivy, and there's still more to go. Have I got to your favorite? Maybe we'll get to your favorite this time. And if I don't, let me know. Did I miss out on somebody? Maybe we'll do it next week. We'll see. But here's what we're going to do today. Here's the 3. There's a preview. I know a lot of people like this one here. But anyway, here's the 3 we're going to do today. Let's get to the drawing table and get to it. Okay, so here we go with yet another round of villains from Batman's Rogues Gallery, some sketch cards, and as you can probably tell by what I've drawn so far, this is the Penguin. Now, of course, there's a bunch of different versions of the Penguin I could have went with, but I kind of went with sort of the more iconic comic booky style. Of course, you always got to have the big nose and the monocle. Those are a given. Now, of course, this isn't a full body thing, but you know, do you do like a Tim Burton with the flippers and the, you know, kind of the just very grotesque thing, or do you do the Burgess Meredith from the '66 Batman, or I don't know. I kind of, you know, I like this version. Penguin was never really one of my favorite villains. It kind of surprised me that he's been in so much media, like that Burton would go right after Joker, go kind of directly to Penguin for this, because you know, to me, he kind of makes a good, you know, crime boss. But other than that, you know, I don't know, you know, how interesting he is compared to a lot of Batman villains. But you know, I could be wrong. Maybe he's your favorite villain, but I do think he works really well as sort of the crime. But you know, nevertheless, he is still one of the more well-known of the Batman villains. So I felt, you know, I definitely needed to include him. So. Yeah, so we're just kind of doing the inking stage right now using my Cotman watercolor brush and my Deleter. I always forget the name of the brand. Deleter number 5 black, the manga ink that you kind of have to order special, but it works real good with the markers. And you probably all heard that before, but no matter how many times I mention it, I always get questions on what kind of ink do you use, what markers do you use and everything. So I'm using right now Copic markers, and I'll use pretty much any marker I can find. But the Copics are kind of my staple. Those are the ones I like the best. So I kind of, yeah, I decided to go with sort of a purple and black look to them. I guess that's pretty standard for Penguin. Sometimes maybe all black. I think maybe it was more all black, and definitely in the Burton, and then I think in the Batman the Animated Series. But I like kind of that purple look to it. So anyway, so yeah, I guess moving on, once we finish Penguin, we're going to move on to the Scarecrow, and I figure I should tell you guys a little story about when I met Batman when I was a kid. And no, it wasn't like an actual actor who played Batman, it was just kind of a guy dressed up in a suit, but it was kind of an interesting story. And and of course, I was super young at the time, so I don't, you know, my recall of these events are kind of shoddy. But anyway, it was like a Batman appearance at a mall that my mom and dad took me to, and up until then, you know, the only really exposure I had known for Batman would have been maybe Super Friends if it was around, or the '66 Batman show. And you know, which was real campy and everything. So I went to this mall, kind of met Batman, and I got his autograph. Like he's just signed it as Batman on a LP, a record album. You know, because I'm old school. But it was a Power Records album, and I don't know if any of you guys are old enough to remember Power Records, but there were Power Records and another company called Peter Pan Records, and they would just put out these stories. Usually a lot of them were based on popular television shows or whatever, and just kind of like radio dramas. And I've been listening to a lot of radio dramas online, actually. There's some really good ones I would suggest. I don't know if I mentioned this in one of the other ones, but there's one called Batman The Long Halloween. It's based on a comic. The comic's pretty famous, but this radio drama was really, really good, the acting and everything. But anyway, so here I am, this kid that's only seen the 66 Can't Be Batman, and I get this album signed by Batman, and I'm guessing, I don't remember exactly, but I'm guessing that the costume looked more like the Adam West Batman, you know, kind of that style. But of course, the cover artwork, I'm thinking it was Neil Adams art. It looked a lot like Neil Adams or somebody similar. I don't really remember. I guess I could search that out, because this album that I'm talking about is you can find it if you search Batman Power Records. And it's the one complete album. It's got 4 stories. One of them was a Scarecrow story. There's a Joker story, a Riddler story, and also a Catwoman story. But if you have the inclination, go check that out on YouTube, because it's at least for me, it was really cool, because it was definitely a darker version of Batman, especially compared to like 66 Batman and everything. So I mean, I wore that record out, because I just listened to it constantly. And then later on in my teens, I still had it, and I was into hip hop at the time, so I tried to scratch on it and sample from it, and it just got really wrecked up. So I don't know whatever happened to it, but it's cool that now I can go on YouTube and kind of listen to those stories again. But that was my first exposure to the Scarecrow, because I don't believe the Scarecrow ever appeared in the 66 Batman. I know I think at some point, I think he may have appeared in like Super Friends, like the challenges of Super Friends, I think. But yeah, the Scarecrow's story was super creepy, and so was I really like the Riddler one. That's where I think I really liked the Riddler, even though he was kind of a, the voice actor in the story. And I'll probably post a link to this Power Records when I post this video, if you want to check it out in the description. But yeah, it was a really cool voice. But it's almost like, in some ways, I think they could have maybe flipped the Joker and the Riddler's voice a little bit, but yeah, it was still pretty cool. So anyway, yeah, that's the time I met Batman. But yeah, moving on to a character that is like super popular right now, Harley Quinn, and I decided to go with sort of the original one. Now, she first premiered she was never really in the comic books at first, but she first premiered on the Batman the Animated Series. So, and it was kind of, this is kind of how she was dressed in that. And I know it's not the sort of court gesture, bells and things probably isn't as sexy as a lot of people want to see, and they like the pigtails better. And I do like the pigtails and stuff, but I don't know, I just wanted to go with the original, because not too many people illustrate her like that. So, and plus the mask and everything. So, but yeah, so I imagine, I always make jokes about, as far as when I'm talking about fan art going to conventions, because I always say, oh, it's Deadpool and Harley Quinn, because those seem to be like the most prevalent. And now they've both got movies coming out, so it's probably going to be even more Batman or more Harley Quinn and Deadpool fan art out there. So, which say what you want. I mean, to me, it's just so oversaturated with those characters. Even though I did love the Deadpool movie. I mean, I just it was just so fun, and it just cracked up the whole way, and so meta and everything, and it was really, I really had a great time with that movie. So I don't know I don't know really what to think about Suicide Squad. I'm not really that familiar with I mean, I understand the concept and everything, but I'm not really all that familiar with the storyline and everything, other than they basically gather all the villains together to help save people, I guess. But it looks kind of interesting. It looks like it could be a lot of fun, but I don't know. I'm still kind of a little leery about DC's cinematic universe, I guess, because I was not a fan of Man of Steel, so I'm not even interested really in seeing Batman versus Superman, unless there's just so much positive feedback that that might sway me the other way. But I don't know. Suicide Squad I might check out. So But it'll be interesting to see Harley Quinn on the big screen. The actress that plays her looks like she's going to do a real good job, so I will probably be checking that out. I think that's coming out soon. I don't know. But yeah, so just wrapping this up. You know, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please leave a comment and let me know if there's anything you'd like to see me create here on Fan Art Friday. But you know, that is all.